Thank you very much, Francis. Now, the Unemployment Insurance Fund will start processing claims for the new parental benefits from today, the 1st of November, to contributing and qualifying UIF beneficiaries. Now, last year, the President signed the Labour Law Amendment Bill into Act, which effected amendments to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act and the Unemployment Insurance Act of 2001. So, through these amendments, the UIF contributors will be eligible to claim for the new benefit from the fund. The Labour Laws Amendment Act introduces a number of new labour regulations around paternity, adopting parents and surrogacy leave. The Unemployment Insurance Fund Director for Communications, Makhosonke Buthelezi, joins me now. Makhosonke, indeed, thank you very much for your time this evening. So these new laws basically speak to new fathers and adopting parents being entitled to leave, paternity leave for 10 days.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So as from today, new fathers will be able to submit claims for paternity benefit. What I need to clarify up front is that claims for adoptive parents and surrogacy, those are only gonna be phased in, are gonna start to kick in April next year. But from today, new fathers will be able to claim for paternity benefit, and that should be linked to the leave that they'll be taking for 10 days.
All right. So what is the process? The new fathers then would obviously need to apply for leave with their employers first. Talk us through the process for those, of course, who would want to know how this is going to work going forward.
Yes, you are right. The new fathers will have to apply for leave with their employers. And in fact, there is a form that the employers will have to complete from UIF as a declaration that indeed this new dad is taking leave. And then once that form has been completed, then it can be submitted at the nearest labour centre.
So this does not yet apply to adopting parents. You said this would be from April next year. Talk us through the phase of the preparation that's been put in place. From the last press release that I saw you had sent out, you said that it was all systems go. So as of today, the system itself kicks in.
It kicks in as of today. Remember that the paternity leave was approved by the President in November last year, and was promulgated for implementation in January this year. But the Unemployment Insurance Fund was not ready at that time to accept the application forms. There were two things. One, it was the regulations, because the unemployment benefits are governed by the Unemployment Insurance Act. So these three benefits are new. So the parental benefit had to first be accommodated in terms of the regulations. Now we went through the process of upgrading our system so that we can accommodate application for parental leave, and we also had to finish the process of regulations. And now that has been sorted out. That is why now we are saying we are ready to start accepting applications for a parental benefit in relation to paternity leave. All
right. For adopting parents, I know this, of course, will only apply from April next year, but what process would also need to be followed in that instance?
It will be pretty much the same as the parental one. They would have to come within 12 months after a court order has been issued to the adoptive parents, and there's also a prescribed set of forms that they will have to complete. By the way, we do have the adoption benefit as it is now, but now with the new Labour Law Amendment Act, it then amends it so that currently it accommodates only one parent. Now you have a situation where you would have two parents. So it has been amended to accommodate two parents. So it will be pretty much the same process. You'll fill out the prescribed form within 12 months after an adoption order has been issued, and then you'll take the process forward.
I know my editor was asking me just in my ear, you know, how much time, of course, fathers would now be allowed. This is a 10 days paternity leave.
It will a maximum of 10 days.
A maximum of 10 days. And I think this is really fantastic because, you know, often, you know, you get women who would obviously, spend a lot of time with newborn babies. So the father really gets to participate in all of this. Well, we could argue maybe 10 days is a bit too little. But, talk us through the application phase. I'm sure there are fathers sitting together with their wives who are thinking, okay, we perhaps need to apply for this. How long does it take, the process itself, in order for you to get to the last phase?
So this being a new benefit, currently with other benefits like the unemployment benefits, it takes about, I think, 15 days for us to complete the process and start to pay. And we are aiming for the same, if not less, period. So what happens is you will, as the new father, fill out the prescribed forms, and obviously the other ones will have to, there has to be evidence from the employer that, yes, indeed, you are on leave. And what you need to bring is your ID. You need to bring the birth certificate of the child, and you'll also have to complete the form, the bank form that you'll get from the UIF. And then there you go. We hope within 15 days, because we don't want fathers to wait for way too long because of the short time that they'll be staying at home.
I think let's talk about eligibility so that there is no confusion.
Yes.
Eligibility, who is eligible, and does this apply to those whose companies are obviously not paying the full amount during that particular leave period?
You are dead right. Yes, it applies. If a company pays 100%, then we will save the money for those companies will pay maybe 60 or 70%. And we will be paying at a rate of 66% flat rate, as we do with maternity benefit. So it's all contributors. You must be contributing to the unemployment insurance fund. And it is very important to mention this, Griselda, that companies, they really need to declare their employees to the fund as prescribed in the Act, so that there are no delays, because sometimes there are delays because companies don't give us information about their employees. You find that by the time they come to apply, there are still gaps. We need to phone them, and that takes time. So they need to declare upfront so that we can process the applications efficiently and quickly. Yeah.
And in terms of, you already mentioned bringing your ID, is there a specific place where people could go on to the internet, perhaps to start kick-starting that process? I know a lot of information, educational information has been put out, but perhaps for somebody who's sitting and watching, they would want to know what to do next. So
what you need to do at the moment, you need to go to the nearest labour centre, labour office, and submit your application. At a later stage, we're going to automate the system. Once we have launched the other two benefits, the surrogacy and adoptive benefits. So we have taken a staggered approach now, starting with the paternity benefit. For now, parental benefit, for now you'll have to go to a labour centre to submit. But the forms are available already on the website.
Fantastic, indeed. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time.
The Unemployment Insurance Fund's Director for Communications, Makhosonke Buthelezi, talking to us about the country's new parental leave laws. Let's take a short break here on The Full View. Much more coming up straight after this.